All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the diamond in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
And hello tonight on the eve of Thanksgiving. Welcome to today's Sports Minute, brought to you by the All Sports, All Play Network. Tonight, we got Vic on her returning week. How are you doing tonight, Vic?
I am feeling much better. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's good to hear. And then we got half of our West Coast connection out there. We got Ace. How you doing, bud?
I'm fantastic. I'm ready to get this rock and roll because I'll tell you what, we have a bunch of hot topics tonight that people are going to really enjoy these topics.
Yeah, we got a lot of good topics. And I am Brandon, and I guess I'll say Brandon from the Midwest, I guess. Minnesota, cold. I'll go with that tonight.
Close enough.
Oh, yeah, exactly. All right, so first off, let's get into some sponsors. Vic, I think you actually purchased some nice jewelry from Paparazzi. Let's go ahead and explain how we can do that.
I did. You go to paparazziaccessories.com, put in your consultant code of 160920. Everything's $5. Holidays are coming. You know, we're under the freeze here in Oregon, so money's short. Everything's $5, lead nickel free. Great Christmas presents, great presents for just anybody. I mean, it's fantastic. I ordered it, got it less than a week later. I love it. Absolutely love it. It's the best stuff. I highly recommend it. 24/7 online. Gotta go.
All right, thank you. And then if you like what we're doing and you want to do your own thing, we are also being sponsored by Anchor. Ace, can you explain that, please?
Yeah, so Anchor, so let's say you're watching us live and you're like, you know what? I want to know how I can do that. But you might be like, I'm just starting out. Well, guess what? Anchor is a great way to actually get your foot in the door and get started. So basically all you got to do with Anchor, you can make your own podcast, and you can even listen to us on Anchor too. You come out, you listen to us on Anchor. You might miss the live stream and you're like, you know what? I just want to listen to it. Guess what? Anchor is a great way to come out and listen to us.
All right. Now moving on to our third sponsor, we got Misty Meadows out in Oregon. Ace, you got coverage on that one too.
Yeah, so Misty Meadows is a great place. They're located in Bandon, Oregon. It's actually a great place to where they make their own jam, and they actually have several locations. And I'll tell you what, their homemade jam is fantastic. They have jams of all flavors. You will certainly enjoy their jam. You can find them at mistymeadows.com.
They make their own jam.
They make their own jam.
All right.
I'm so going.
All right. And then we got Black Market Toffee. Vic, you know anything about them guys and helping them out?
Black Market Coffee?
Coffee, yeah.
Coffee.
I like coffee.
I do too. How about Ace?
Yep, it's toffee. So the Black Market Toffee. You can find the Black Market Toffee online at blackmarkettoffee.com, and I'll tell you what, this is some of the best toffee you will ever find. If you think of like saltwater taffy and toffee and stuff, they have all this stuff. So go ahead and check them out, order it. It's awesome, and I guarantee you will like it.
Oh, okay. So let's get into something free. You know, Black Friday is up around the corner, but again, you can get something for free tonight or I guess not tonight, but So, Vic, how can they get something free?
Easiest way, watch our show and comment. Person with the most comments, they win a t-shirt at the end of the month. They're the viewer of the month. And let me tell you, these shirts are spot on awesome. Can't wait to get mine. It's going to be fantastic. Also, if you want to, you don't want to make a lot of comments, you don't feel that comfortable yet, $24.99 plus shipping and handling. $25 plus shipping and handling. And you can have the t-shirt as well. Totally worth it. You got to get in on this deal, man.
All righty. All right, we got some great sponsors, great deals, a free shirt. All right, so the first topic of the night, we are going to talk about the most underrated soccer team.
Football.
Start with that one.
All right, yep, the most underrated soccer team. So when you look at the most underrated soccer team, I want to tell you, how can you not go with FC Dallas? So FC Dallas, I know, Vic, you're looking like really FC Dallas. You have to go with FC Dallas. And if I know you, you probably went with the Timbers. I'm probably sure you went there. I'm just taking a shot in the dark. No, I'm wrong. Okay, but FC Dallas was my pick. When you look at FC Dallas, they were 6th in the Western Conference. Everybody was counting them out. What happened? They went into the playoffs. They were able to beat a Timbers team in the playoffs, an up-and-coming Timbers team. They were able to beat them in a kickoff in the playoffs. So how can you not look at this team as an up-and-coming team? And keep in mind, what is one specific thing about this team? They have a lot of young players, young and talented players that they're gonna have around for a very, very long time. What they should start calling this team, they should honestly call this team Kids Inc. Honestly, they should. It should be called Kids Inc.
This is not Nickelodeon, bro.
I know it's not. It's not Nickelodeon. I get that, but how can it not be called Kids Inc? Look at these up and comers. They have guys like Jesus Ferreira. They have a Paxton Pinocchio. They have a Reggie Cannon. All these kids were young. They just came out of the academy, and they completely turned this team completely around. They make the playoffs. They win a couple games in the playoffs. They're looking good. They are an extremely underrated up-and-coming team.
All right.
If you say so.
All right, Vic, how about you?
Just because I'm from the Northwest doesn't mean I'm going Northwest.
Oh, okay.
But I am. I'm going norther. I'm going Seattle Sounders.
Okay.
None of their players were finalists for any end of year awards. Nobody stood out. Nobody was the all-star. Nobody was, the greatest soccer player on earth. They played as a team. People underestimated them because nobody stood out. Nobody gave them a chance. They had like a 4% chance of lifting the cup at the start of the season. 4% chance. That's ridiculous.
But now you see.
This ain't Kids Incorporated, brother. This is Double Dare.
Oh, this is Double Dare. No, now I'm saying, now you see my point when I'm talking about FC Dallas. You're talking about that nobody was giving them a chance. Nobody was giving FC Dallas a chance. A lot of these kids just came from the academy.
Didn't you just talk? Didn't you just have a minute?
Yes,
I know. This is my time.
I'm ranting. You go, Vic. You go.
Nobody said the Eminem word, so calm down.
Oh.
Don't go Hulk smash right now. We'll get to that in a minute.
Get me going there. Okay.
But Seattle Sounders, it's just a cool name. And they're in the Northwest. And as much as Portland's awesome, but nobody expected Seattle to be where they were. I mean, 4% chance. That's like them picking the Washington Wizards to win the NBA title.
No.
Right? That's the same percentage, basically.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're underrated, but hey, each year they come in underrated because nobody thinks they're going to keep up. Nobody thinks they're going to keep on doing what they're doing. And they just keep chugging out these guys that popping in, kicking goals, kicking people in the face, and I like it. I like violence.
So I have to know, Vic, are you a Timbers fan? I'm just curious. Are you a Timbers fan?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Yeah. Okay.
So when I was looking at it, actually, I had Nashville down, like Chase Anderson posted that they're a new expansion team coming out. They got a lot of veteran MLS players. But after looking at it, I'm going to probably be a homer on this one and go with the Minnesota United. They've been improving every year. I am not going to try to name any players because I didn't really glaze over the roster. But just by looking at, how they've improved, I can see them. They're also in a market where you got the Vikings and the Twins and the Gophers, so they got to battle a little bit. But honestly, overall, I think soccer in general is underrated. So
Yes.
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Definitely. It's exciting. It's boring sometimes because they're running down, but come on. When it gets exciting, these guys have stamina for days. I remember playing soccer when I was in grade school, and I was like, I'm 9 and I'm done.
I think the one thing is they need to do more promotions and more ads and get it out there. And I think kids will start playing that.
We're not running around with pads and helmets. They're like full on hit me. Bring it.
Yeah, the only thing that they really have is shin guards. It's really the only thing that they really have for protection wise. But other than that, soccer, I do agree with you guys. Soccer is a very, very underrated sport.
I think they have the essentials in the middle too. The cup.
Well, the cup, yeah. But I'm talking about the protection of wise, not, the only thing they have is shin guards. That's it.
Yeah. All right. So on to another wonderful sport.
Yeah.
Top 5 women NBA teams going into next season.
Whoop, whoop.
Vic, we'll start with you.
All right. This was a tough one because I'm very Oregon biased a little bit, and it shines a little bit in my choices, but it makes sense. So,
it always makes sense.
Yeah. Number 5, I got the New York Liberty. They had like 3 first rounders this last year. They took Sabrina, and they just loaded up on talent. Sabrina got hurt, so we never got to see her full potential, but she is a game changer. And I see them with, they're going to come in with some more draft picks this year because of how the season ended for them. So I got them in at number 5. At number 4, I got the LA Sparks. Because, anything LA is going to be good. You can't argue. They got money. Blah, blah, blah. Number 3, I got the Dallas Wings. Why do I have the Dallas Wings? Because of the unicorn. Do you know who the unicorn is?
Wow.
Satu Sabali. She is the unicorn. That girl is like 7'10", and she can shoot the outside. She can go inside. She should have been Rookie of the Year if she didn't get it, because she is phenomenal, and she is going to be a huge impact. And the Dallas Wings are going to be a huge improvement this coming year. Number 2, Las Vegas Aces. They went to the finals this year against Seattle. Came up short. Because Seattle was destined. And, number 1, of course, I got Seattle Storm going into next season. Yeah, Sue Bird. She's like the LeBron James of the WNBA. She's phenomenal. And I see them repeating. I see them taking maybe Dallas or LA to the finals again this year. Maybe not if they're in the same conference. I don't know.
All right, Ace, how about you, bud?
So, Vic, I will say I was actually a little bit surprised about your list in a way. I have majority of the top 5 that you have, but a few of them I was actually surprised on, because my number 5 team going into the next season I actually have as the Chicago Sky, and the reason I have them at number 5 is the name Allie Quigley. Ruthie
Hibbard. I forget that name.
But the reason I'm saying Allie Quigley is because she's definitely top 5 in WNBA. Without question. She is one of the dominant players. So when you look at Allie Quigley, she averaged 15 points per game in the regular season. Now, when it came to playoff time, that's when she becomes on a whole nother level. She went from 15 points a game to averaging up to 19 points a game. Now, besides Allie Quigley, they also have Kaylee Cooper. Do you recognize that name? Yes, with Kaylee Cooper. Kaylee Cooper also averaged just about 15 points a game, but not only did she average 15 points a game, a big thing with her, she is dominant on the board. She's a dominant rebounder. That's her big thing. So with Allie Quigley and Kaylee Cooper, this team, watch out. They're gonna be really good. I don't think they're gonna be in the top 3 yet, but they're definitely top 5 team. Now, number 4, Minnesota Lynx. Minnesota Lynx.
Kissing up to Brandon. I see how it goes. I see where you're going with this.
No. I can't do that. And trust me, the Minnesota pick is not just because of Mr. Brandon there. So when you look at 2 people on this Minnesota Lynx team, you have to look at Dangerfield and Seller. Those 2 are the 2 people that make this team go. They average each about 16 points per game each. And then when you look at the rebound of them both, they average about 9 rebounds a game also. So when you have 2 people that can average about 9 rebounds a game and 15 points a game, oh yeah, that's going to really help your team. Now, what I think is going to really help this Minnesota Lynx team, and maybe you can agree with me on this, Vic, is that this Minnesota Lynx team is probably maybe 1 or 2 trades away from actually being a legit number 1 contender.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's all they need is maybe
just need that little oomph.
Absolutely, they just need 1 or 2 more. My number 3 team, LA Sparks. It's just because, like Vic said, it's an LA team. LA teams are usually good. They have money. They can get pretty much whoever they want. But LA Sparks, who do they have? They have Candace Parker. Candace freaking Parker.
Freaking Parker.
She is absolutely dominant. She was dominant in the playoffs, especially in the playoffs. When you look at her playoffs, does anybody know or want to take a guess of how many points she averaged in the playoffs per game?
48.
No, not that high.
Not that high.
I'll go about 22.
22 points. She averaged 22 points per game in the playoffs. In the regular season, she averaged right around 18 points. So she shot up. So he was absolutely dominant in the playoffs. And don't forget that in the regular season, she had over 200 rebounds.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
That's completely dominant on the boards. So they're right now, I see them at number 3. I cannot put them ahead of the Aces. I can't do that just because the Aces were in the championship last year. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And Seattle Storm, we obviously know that they have to come in at number 1 because, well, they just won the championship. So how can you not put them at number 1? So the Aces are 2. The Storm is number 1 until I see otherwise, until I see different. But at this point, I can't. Even though I do agree with you, Vic, that this Aces team, I think, might be a little bit better than the Storm this year. They're going to come out, and they're going to want that little bit of revenge. When you look at the regular season last year, they actually tied. It was like 1-1. They played each other twice, and they matched each other one game for one game, but then the Storm just swept them.
Took him out to sea, yeah.
Yeah, just swept them. All right.
Absolutely.
So before we do that, I got to bring up Nate really quick because J-Mac cannot be with us tonight. So,
all right, so we got Nate substituting, huh?
Yep, so Nate's got to come up and say J-Mac's top 5 WNBA teams coming into next year.
So I'm going to go from 5 to 1. At number 5, he has the Washington Mystics.
Good choice.
Mm-hmm.
At number 4, he has the Connecticut Sun.
Interesting.
At number 3, he has the Las Vegas Aces.
Ooh, You went different
And-
number 2.
Whoa.
Number two, he has the New York Liberty.
Yeah, buddy.
Wow. Wow.
And at
All
number
them rookies,
one,
man.
he has the Phoenix Mercury.
The Phoenix Mercury.
Wow.
Okay.
Totally dissed the Storm. I like it.
That
I
is
like
that is crazy. That is like a total shocker there. How does he not have the Storm up there? That is completely shocking. So Nate, before we move on to Brandon really quick, let's go back and get J-Mac's underrated soccer team quick.
Sporting Kansas as his
Yeah.
most underrated team.
All right. Thank you. And we'll bring it
I'll
back.
talk to you later, Nate.
Yeah, get him out.
All right. So my list. No reason why I put my list together, really. I just looked at some of the stats and kind of compared them. But I think I've heard all my teams come in. So, but 5, I got Phoenix Mercury. They got 4 players averaging over 14 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
So they're spreading the ball around, and they got Turner. I think she had like league high or close to league high in blocks and like 45 or something like that. And then I got number 4, the Lynx. They've done more in their short time than the men's Timberwolves have done. So, yeah, I got they spread the ball around a lot too. So, and they got a couple. Ace said that averages 9 rebounds a game, so that's always nice to have. And then I got the Ace up there, and then Sparks. I think we comment on the LA. It's all about money out there, so they know how to spend
Right.
it. And then the Storm, they're last year's champ. I think there ain't much more to say about that than you guys have already covered. So, all right.
I want to know just really quick, how surprised were you guys that J-Mac did not have the Storm up there? I really
Very, very surprised. I'm surprised he put New York as high as he did. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I like it.
Yeah, but that's kind of a gutsy
But they're a
move
young.
right
They're a
there.
young team. They're a very young team that they're gonna. But they're gonna be up there. I think they're gonna show some people. I think so.
Wait.
I think it's a good pick.
You think they're going to be top 5?
The Liberty?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Once Sabrina's healthy, have you ever seen Sabrina Ionescu play?
Oh yeah. Definitely.
I was watching a game and Oregon was down like 15 points or something like that. And it's like she's like, I'm done. I'm taking over. And she like scored like 30 points in a quarter. And she's like, I'm good. I got this. She's a game changer.
All right.
And we're friends on Twitter, so we're really tight.
All right. All right. So our next topic for tonight: top 5 players who had a better career with their second team than they did their first team.
This one was fun.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, Vic. Why don't you start off the fun then?
All right, I will start off the fun. Thanks, Brandon.
Hey,
So
no
number
problem.
five was kind of a toss up for me.
Wait, hold on, Vic. How many ducks are on your list?
None.
Okay. All right. We can go ahead.
So I went across all sports: football, basketball, baseball. Number 5, I went with Stephon Gilmore. Came from the Buffalo Bills to the New England Patriots, and has just completely been shut down. He's a shutdown guy, way better than he was with the Bills. Earned every penny he got. Number 4, going old school, John Smoltz. Atlanta Braves was his second team.
Yes.
He turned into Hall of Famer, starting pitcher, closer, dominant, total stud. Number 3, I hate it, but I might change it right now. I'm gonna change it. I'm going Shaquille O'Neal at number 3.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
Orlando Magic, second team, LA Lakers. Totally dominated. Number 2, Mr. Gregory Maddox. Started out a Cub. Best years were as a Brave. Fight me. You can't argue it. Nobody can argue it.
I got you.
Right. All right, number 1, You don't see this one coming. I guarantee you don't see this one coming. Mr. Drew Brees. Started out a Charger. Chargers didn't have faith in him, didn't think his shoulder would get better. Signed with the Saints. Where is he? Won a Super Bowl. Football icon. Walter Payton Man of the Year. All-around stud. Hall of Famer. Drew Brees. Number 1. Best player on his second team.
There you go. I like that list. I do. How about
It makes sense sometimes. I make a lot of sense sometimes.
How about we break into Nate's substitute for J-Max picks.
All right. Let's bring him up really quick. Let's substitute for.
All right, Nate. J-Max, top 5 second team or second player better than his first team.
So at number 5, he has Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was the Bucks, I believe, at first, and then went to the Lakers.
Yeah, good call.
Number 4, he has Greg Maddux. Started off
so
with
low.
Cub and went to the Braves. Number 3, he has Marshall Falk.
Marshall Falk, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
At number 2, he has Shaquille O'Neal. Number 1's going to be a surprise. He has Brett Favre.
What?
For who?
Favre, yes, I know.
What?
I know.
No way! No way!
I think
Yes,
J-Mac
I
J-Mac got whacked on the head.
Wow. What? Okay.
Woo!
All right, Nate.
Wait, he was with Atlanta, and then he went to Green Bay.
Yeah,
Oh,
true.
that's true.
Yeah, he was for
That's what it was.
Yeah,
That's
so
what
if
it
he's
was.
talking about Atlanta, if he was talking about Atlanta,
Yeah.
true. But because I mean, I guess you can count Atlanta. I mean, because he didn't really play in Atlanta, but that's okay because they traded him for a first-round pick to Green Bay, and you see what
Totally
he
makes
did
sense
there.
now.
But
Makes sense. Good pick, J-Mac.
yeah, if that's what he's going by, absolutely. But
I'm giving him benefit of the doubt.
But I thought, for some reason, he was talking about when he left
The Jets.
and I'm like, what? That totally makes sense now. That makes sense. All right, thank you, Nate. All right.
Yes. All right, Ace. How about your top 5?
So the first thing I want to touch on is Vic. You took one of mine. Dang it! You took one of mine.
That's how I roll.
But
He's got a couple of mine too.
what?
He's got a couple of mine too.
But that's okay. So
I know what I'm talking about, people. I'm not crazy.
No, and that's completely fine because what I did, I kind of did what you did also, Vic, and I basically went from sport to sport. I didn't stick with the same sport. I jumped around. I did basketball. I did some hockey. So I kind of went everywhere. So my number 5 actually was Kevin Johnson in the NBA because Kevin Johnson was actually drafted by the Cavaliers as a 7th overall pick. Now, if you remember when Kevin Johnson was drafted 7th overall, the surprising thing about Kevin Johnson is he only lasted a half a season as a Cleveland Cavalier. They gave up on him that fast, and he was on limited minutes. Like, they thought he was their future, and they're like, nah, maybe not. But that wasn't really his fault in Cleveland because they didn't really play him all that much. So what did they end up doing? They ended up trading him to the Phoenix Suns. And then what happened when he went to the Phoenix Suns? Well, he had a Hall of Fame career. That's pretty much what happened. The Phoenix Suns actually retired his number. So at this point, if you are Cleveland, you're like, what just happened? This guy was our future, and then we gave up on him halfway through a season. And when you look at some of the things he did, he averaged 20 points a game for the Suns. He averaged 12 assists, and in 1 year, he was 50% at shooting in 1 year. That's impressive. And he was also part of that team that went to the finals when they went in 90, I believe it was 93. They went. He was part of that team. All right. My number 4 pick was Tuukka Rask. Tuukka. He's a center, he was a goalie He was actually a goalie. And this is why I'm not surprised at all, especially when you hear the team. Tuukka Rask was a goalie that was drafted by the Toronto Maple Leafs. And this is why the Maple Leafs are so bad, because they get their talent just like that, and they give up on him so freaking fast. The guy didn't even get to play a game with the Toronto Maple Leafs. They drafted him, and they're like, I don't think he's ready. And then they instantly trade him to the Boston Bruins. It was that fast. They traded him to the Bruins. And then what happened? Well, let's see. He was an all-star with Boston. He won a Stanley Cup in Boston. He won a goal of the year in Boston. So, man, that was bad move by Toronto Maple Leafs, and that's why everybody sees why Toronto's as bad as they are, because they make stupid decisions like this. And I hate to knock on the Maple Leafs, but we all know how it is. And Nate says he loves that trade. So, I don't know.
Nate loves a lot of things.
Right. So now number 3, and this is where you got me, Vic. This was my pick. Number 3 was Drew Brees. How can you not go with Drew Brees? Absolutely. It shocked me how quickly the Chargers gave up on Drew Brees just because of his shoulder. They thought that Drew Brees was done. However, if you remember, that's why they went out and drafted Phillip Rivers. And they replaced Drew Brees with Phillip Rivers. And now we see what Drew Brees is doing in New Orleans. He has record after record after record.
I take him over Phillip Rivers any day.
Huh?
I take Drew Brees over Phillip Rivers any day.
Oh, you have to. You have to. It's not even question. All right. So my number 2, and Vic, I'm kind of surprised in a way that you didn't get this one too.
Oh, I probably had it.
Max Scherzer. Because if you remember when he came into the league, he actually started out with Arizona. Yeah. And he only played 2 seasons in Arizona, but when he played for the Diamondbacks, he was like 9-18 with an ERA in the 4s. And then Arizona was like, this guy's just he's not our future. He's not there. And then they traded him to Detroit. And we know what happened when he got traded to Detroit. His numbers weren't as good as when he went to Washington, but that's when he became known as the ace and Max Scherzer. He won some Cy Youngs. If you remember that ridiculous year that Scherzer had with the Tigers when he was 21-3 with like an ERA of like 2.06.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's no way I'm picking Max Scherzer over Greg or John. Never. Not in my lifetime.
And that's fine.
Not happening.
And that's fine.
I'm not picking a national over a Brave. Come on.
But you know why I did not go with
Crazy
Maddox?
talk.
I did not go with Maddox because I knew that either you or J-Mac would have him in your list. So I'm like, I got to go with something different because everybody's going to have Maddox in their list. So I did not want to have the same list as everybody else.
All right,
so
I'll give you that one.
Then number one. Are you ready for this? Drum roll. Nolan freaking Ryan. Because when Nolan Ryan started out, he was actually drafted by the New York Mets. That was his first team. Now, he did not fare that great as a New York Met because they didn't keep him for that long. But if everybody remembers who he was traded for. Does anybody remember who he was traded for? It was the infamous trade. He was traded by Jim. He was traded for Jim Fregosi, the infamous trade, which means at that point, this Jim Fregosi, he played 1 season as a Met. 1 season. And he played 146 games and hit 5 home runs. 5. And they traded Nolan Ryan for this guy.
The Mets aren't smart.
No, which you know how it ended with Nolan Ryan.
Yep.
I don't. How did it end? Did Nolan Ryan pitch again? What's the deal?
Right. 8 career no hitters, 5,700 strikeouts. Probably one of the.
Oh, that Nolan Ryan. I thought you were talking about the other one. Sorry.
If not the GOAT of pitchers, he's pretty dang well close. Just saying, He's probably the GOAT. So with that being said, that's my top 5. So Brandon.
Yes, that
Good
is a
top
great
five.
top 5. Will, I see your post there. I'm sorry, I'm going to disappoint you, man, but I did think about it. But I thought better of it. I was a Barry Bond fan when he was in Pittsburgh. When he went to the Giants, I thought he was good. But I did not include him. Sorry about that, bud. So, anyways, moving on to my top 5. Number 5, I kind of went with the home team, with the Vikings. And I got 2 of them tied. Chris Carter when he came in from Philly, and then Jared Allen when he came from the Kansas City Chiefs. Chris Carter, I mean, what can we say? I mean, Hall of Fame career, many incredible catches with the Vikings. Jared Allen, he comes over, and all he did was, went to, 4 Pro Bowls, and he had 10 seasons, every season he was with the Vikings had 10-plus sacks. So those are my number 5. Number 4, I got Drew Brees. I think we've already said it. I mean, from San Diego to New Orleans, what can you say that hasn't been said? Number 3, I got Nolan Ryan. Ace hit it. I mean, they gave up on him. He goes to California and only posts a 138 record over 121 losses.
Right.
And 4 of his 7 no-hitters were with the Angels. So, I mean, how can you not have him there? My number 2, Greg Maddux. We all know Maddox's career. Goes from the Cubs to Atlanta and just helps them win pennants and go to the World Series and stuff. Number 1, probably my biggest disappointment that they let this guy go, David Ortiz.
Oh yeah,
That's
a good one.
Minnesota for 6 years. They actually kept him over Matthew, or they sent him away and kept Matthew LeCroy, a catcher, over him. But he goes to Boston and just tears it up. I think 3 World Series, 10 All-Stars. I think that kind of can explain itself right there. So,
Excellent,
hey, who was your one that you took out that you're debating on?
LeBron James.
Oh, okay.
No,
I wasn't thinking that.
That's why I took him out.
don't do it.
I didn't think of that one. So, but I was actually trying to work in a way to fit Hulk Hogan into it, but I don't know if he went to WCW helped him at all. So, all right. So our next topic, top 5 Dallas Cowboy quarterbacks.
Is this like a torture topic?
Yeah. So how about we let J-Mac or his substitute Nate fill us in on his guys.
All right, so we will go ahead and go with Nate giving J-Max picks.
So, sorry about the light here. At number 5, Troy Aikman. At number 4, Don Meredith. At number 3, Dak Prescott. At number 2, Tony Romo. And at number 1, Roger Staubach.
All right, thank you, Nate.
All right,
That's a good one.
Thank you.
All right, Ace. Let's top that. Go ahead.
All right, so I've actually been pretty excited about this topic, and mainly because we have a lot of Cowboys fans that are on this network, and I have a lot of friends that are Cowboys fans. And one thing that bugs me is there's a name that's on my list that I'm like, if you tell me he's number 1, you're freaking nuts, and I'll tell you why. Yeah, right. So number 5, I honestly had to go with Danny White. He was top 5, no question, because of what he did. He played in the early 80s. He averaged about 20 plus touchdowns for the majority of his career, which if you look at the early 80s, it wasn't really what you would call a passing touchdown time. It really, really wasn't. My number 4 pick, Don Meredith. It was in the 60s. He also kind of did the same thing. And remember, back in the 60s, they did not throw a lot of touchdowns back then at all. And Don Meredith was that guy that averaged just about, there was like 4 of 6 years he threw 20 or plus touchdowns. So for the 60s, that was actually pretty impressive. Now, number 3, and I'm going to go on a little rant on this one. So I'm letting everybody know. Rant alert right now. Okay. So my rant on this one, my number 3 of all time for Dallas. Thank you, rant and process. And you know what? For you Cowboys fans, you're even lucky I stuck him at number 3, and his name is Troy Aikman. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack on this because people are going to be like, the dude has 3 rings. Let me tell you what, I don't give a crap that the guy has 3 rings. I could care less about that crap. And here's why I could care less about it. When you look at this dude's career numbers, the dude is a Hall of Famer. That's what they said. He's in the Hall of Fame. Let me tell you this. The dude in his career, tell me how these are Hall of Fame numbers at all. He threw 165 touchdowns to 141 interceptions. Are you kidding me? 141 interceptions and 165 touch. Are you kidding me? How is that even close to Hall of Fame numbers? That is blasphemous. I don't even understand that. The only reason this dude has 3 rings anyways is because number 1, Emmitt Smith, and number 2, because of that Cowboys defense. That is it. This guy, I don't even know why I have him at number 3. This guy doesn't even belong at number 3. He's lucky to belong at number 5. This is crazy. That's why people go crazy over Troy Aikman. I actually have a buddy who, when I asked him about his top 5 quarterbacks of all time, you know who he put as the GOAT, as the number 1 best quarterback of all time? He told me it was Troy Aikman. Troy freaking Aikman. And that's my problem. That is my problem. That is why my rant. That's why I went on a rant, because I don't understand. How is this guy a Hall of Famer? That's just crazy. I'm sorry. That's blasphemous. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Will. Will. No, right there. So Will, Nate, get Will's comment. There you go. Let's be honest. Aikman is the best example that rings can get you in the Hall of Fame. Exactly. That's been my point. This guy's done absolutely nothing. He was not a good quarterback, and he sucks as an announcer. I hate to listen to him. He's horrible. He's freaking horrible. And I hate to listen to him. I don't even know why he does it. The dude does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. And thank you, Dave. I was really that close to putting him off the list, but let's be honest. The really person that I guess I could have put on the list over him, but I could not do it yet, and that's because he's currently playing, is Dak Prescott. And the only reason I did not put him on my list is because he has not played long enough yet to go on my list. If he continues to play, I'd probably take Aikman out, and I would put in Prescott. It's ridiculous. Okay.
Yeah.
So number 2, Tony Romo. And I know a lot of people will looks at Tony Romo and says, how can he be? Okay. Look at the guy's numbers overall. The guy had fantastic numbers. The only downfall about Romo, number 1, I understand he didn't win in the playoffs. I completely get that. Number 2, injury prone. I understand that too. But the dude had legit talent. He was really good. And now keep in mind, the dude was undrafted too.
Yeah.
He wasn't even drafted.
Not even drafted. So, and yes, and to bring up that aspect too, the other thing that he has over Aikman also is he's actually a good announcer. He actually is. I would have listened to him announce every single game if I could. The dude has phenomenal talent. So, yes, he belongs at number 2. Number 1, Roger Staubach. How could you not put him at number 1? The greatest Cowboys quarterback of all time. When people hear Roger Staubach, people are like, I wanted to be like him. A lot of people will tell you, he was my idol. I wanted to play football like Roger Staubach. And you hear it all the time. You know what? Great. He's number 1.
All right. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's that.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we glad we did that topic?
I am going to go. I'm going to go with number 5, Dak. I mean, yeah, he's currently still playing, but I think he could definitely have proven that. I mean, right now he's sitting at like a 66% completion rating. You know, 106 touchdowns, 40 picks. You know, two-time offensive play, or I'm sorry, he was offensive rookie of the year. You know, two-time Pro Bowler. You know. Then I'm going to go number 5, Don Meredith. 3-3 in the playoffs. You know what? 47-32, 4 ties. I mean, not a bad. You know, I think he's sitting 4th or 5th all time in passing yards for the Cowboys. Number 3, I'll go Danny White. You know, 62-30 as a Cowboy. You know, almost 22,000 passing yards. 106 touchdowns. Actually, I might be wrong on that. I don't think he had 106. And won Super Bowl. Number 2, I'm gonna go Tony Romo. You know, I think Ace said it perfectly. You know, the bad thing about him was when the game was online, he could not produce, but you know, he put up heck of a good numbers. Number 1, Roger Staubach. 85-29, 6 Pro Bowls, 2 Super Bowls. You know, like he said, you know, if you're a Cowboy fan, that's who you wanted to be was Staubach. The reason why I left Troy Aikman off the list was pretty much what he said. And the third key to why he's in the Hall of Fame is because of the Vikings. So I'm going to keep saying that until I can't say it no more. You know, the Vikings helped Dallas build those teams. So, but anyways, so moving on. Did we get J-Max top 5?
Yeah.
Yes, we did. We already got top 5.
Right, I forgot to write that one down.
Nope.
All right. So number 5, we're going to talk a little MLB. Anybody got?
What about me?
Oh, I'm sorry, Vic. I thought we did you. That's what I was forgetting. All right, let's back it up.
You listen to Ace rant for like 40 minutes.
Yeah, let's rewind it a little bit. All right, Vic, your top 5 quarterbacks.
Well, I left Aikman off my list. 1, because he sucks, and 2, because he was a Bruin, and I hate the UCLA Bruins.
Thank you.
So number 5, we got Dak Prescott because there's nobody else to put in the spot, and he's been all right. I mean, he's a dude. I like him. Number 4, Danny White. The dude quarterbacked and punted. Come on. Nobody does that now. They specialize. He kicked the ball like a madman. Number 3, Tony Romo. I put him there because, well, he was great during the season. Come postseason time, game on the line, dude choked like a broccoli raw, man. He couldn't do it. Number 2, Don Meredith. I just like the name Meredith. I don't know. And he was pretty good back in the 60s. I wasn't alive then, but we'll go with that.
No, it's all good.
And Roger Staubach, number 1. I mean, come on. Navy, big, you know, he was a dude. He was the All-American guy, led the All-American team. You don't get better than Roger Staubach. Hands down.
All right.
So before you move on to the next topic, there's a comment up here that I wanted you guys to see.
Yep, I was actually going to call that one out exactly.
So, I mean, I agree. Emmett played a role in it as well as Irvin, but it was mainly, you got to be kidding me. You have got to be freaking kidding me, dude. So I don't know what's up with that, man, but Aikman, nah, bro, that was all Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith is the all-time leader in rushing yards. The one thing that I will say on that is that would have been broken had Barry Sanders kept playing, with no doubt on that. But if Aikman, thank you, Will, and I completely agree with that. If Aikman needs to be in the Hall of Fame, and Chase, I don't know if you heard that number I just said about Aikman, but when it's 165 touchdowns, 141 interceptions, he's not the one that got the Dallas Cowboys going. That was Emmitt Smith. They rode the back of Emmitt Smith. He's the one that had to get that offense going. Or when it wasn't on the offensive side, that defense was stellar. That's why they were also good too, was because of defense and Emmitt Smith.
And Moose. Don't forget Moose.
Had Troy Aikman not had Michael Irvin, I don't even know how many touchdowns he actually would have thrown, to be honest.
Not a lot.
No, not at all. All right. Sorry, that was my little rant.
Hey, you keep bringing up Aikman's touchdown to interception ratio, and I know I'm a Brett Favre fan, but I mean, you know, it can't all be about touchdowns and interceptions because Favre threw how many interceptions?
No, I'm not talking about the ratio. It's got nothing to do with the ratio. I'm talking about when you look at the dude's career, the dude's thrown 165 career touchdowns.
Yeah.
That is crazy low. That is super low. How do you get in the Hall of Fame with that? It's just because of his rings. I don't even care. I don't care about the ratio.
I mean,
huh?
I guess I just misunderstood. I thought you're kind of doing a ratio thing. So
no, it had nothing to do with ratio. It's got a career.
He's not good at math. Don't give him credit. No.
Right? Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not the ratio. It's the numbers in general. Those are horrible.
Yep. No, I totally agree. And actually, like Will just posted up there. You know, yeah, Cowboy Hall of Fame, yes. NFL Hall of Fame, no.
No, absolutely not. No.
So
no.
All right. So with J-Mac being out, we're not going to hear his spotlight player this week. So we're going to talk a little MLB.
Woo woo.
Any kind of big news you guys been hearing? Vic, we'll start with you.
Our Braves are bolstering their rotation. I mean, Charlie Morton, and we got Drew Smiley to back up Soroka, Anderson, and Fried. I mean, that's going to be a dominant pitching staff next year. With those two veterans mixed in, Smiley's going to teach Fried all the mystics of the left-handedness. It's going to be beautiful. Our offense is going to rock. I think they're going to do. I think the DH is going to stay, and we're going to sign Ozuna to whatever it takes because that dude is solid money.
Yeah.
Without him, we would not have made it anywhere this year. And we got MV free. I mean, come on.
I was going to say the MVP. Can't forget about him.
Cannot forget about him.
So going on that, Vic, for a second here, I completely agree with you about the rotation because before we signed Morton, before we went out and got him too, I was looking at the rotation and I'm like, well, the only other person that we could have thrown in that rotation would have been Kyle Wright at that point. But then we went out and got Morton. And when you look at that starting rotation, you have to think, well, Kyle Wright has to be the odd man out. He has to be at this point because Soroka's better, Fried's better, Anderson's better.
Shut up, Dave.
Anderson's better. And then we signed Smiley, so Smiley will start. And then we have Morton. And so Wright can't start over any of them. So Wright's going to be that odd man out. The only thing I can possibly think about them doing with Wright is potentially putting him in the bullpen, maybe. Maybe.
I think they need to start him in AAA. He needs some more experience because, you know, he got rocked against the Dodgers, and I think that hit him a little bit. So he needs to go down there and get some of his confidence back. I mean, Smiley and Morton are 1-year deals, so they're not going to be there the whole, you know, lifelong career time. So they're just placeholders until Kyle Wright gets right.
Yeah. Now he did have that one or two. He had like that one good game in the playoffs. But
that was Bryce. Well, that was Bryce. Kyle got rocked by the Dodgers.
No, but Kyle pitched a game before that too, prior to, if you remember, and actually had a good game.
Okay,
it was against the Marlins. He pitched good against the Marlins. Which,
he was so up and down. We didn't know which Kyle we were going to get.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so then now I'll go over to Brandon for a second here. Brandon, you are a Twins fan, correct?
Oh yeah. That's probably my heart and passion.
So go ahead and give us some
I had a couple tryouts with them when I was younger. So
yeah. So
baseball
the Twins.
Yeah, go ahead. What's up?
No, go ahead. I was going to say, go ahead and give us some news on the Twins.
No, there ain't no news.
There's nothing.
Free agent. No, nothing exciting. I mean, you know, I hope they sign Cruz back. I think he's a free agent. He did state that he wanted to stay here. They definitely need some pitching. I mean, that's what's going to get you into the playoffs and get you far. I mean, we do got a couple young guys. And then Maeda's probably our ace right now, which probably on any other team, he'd probably be a number 2 or a number 3. So I'd like to see the Twins go out and sign a nice solid ace, kind of like they did back in '91 when they brought Morrison, just a guy that wants the ball, wants it every game, doesn't want to be taken out, and he's just a bulldog up there. I know that's kind of hard to find nowadays in baseball, but
Will, don't make me barf.
No.
Mm-mm.
But on Vic's take too, I'm kind of up in the air on the DH rule. I'm kind of old school. I see why they put it in, and I can see that working. But I think it kind of takes the managerial skills out of it when it comes to AL and the NL ball clubs.
So hang on one second, Brandon. I just wanted to touch on a comment quick here. So Will was saying that Cruz will go to Tampa to chase the ring. However, the one thing I do want to say about that is if Cruz does go to Tampa, I will tell you one thing. That is actually one thing that Tampa Bay is missing. Tampa does not have what you would call that power threat. They don't really have it. Yeah, they have a few guys that can hit some dingers, but they don't have that one guy that's going to hit you 30 or 40 a season. They don't.
That rookie that they had this year might turn into it. I mean,
but he's not there right now.
No.
So what they need right now is they need that guy. They need that power bat, and Nelson Cruz could definitely be it because this Tampa Bay Rays team, they're basically based off of pitching. That's what it is. It's their bullpen, and their starters are decent, unless you have like Blake Snell, which
I was actually just going to touch on that. I just saw a rumor, I guess, that the Rays are open to trading Snell. I mean, what do you guys think about that?
Which would actually surprise me.
For the Rays, not really. They don't like to keep. They like to cash in when the value's high.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but what I mean is, I know they like to go young because you see them go out and they don't have a big payroll. They're also one of those teams that don't pay players a lot of money. They just don't. That's not their style. They're kind of like the Oakland A's. The A's don't do it either. And Chase is saying Snell to the Angels. I don't know, man. It's just one of those things. To me, it seems like it doesn't matter who the Angels get. They cannot get it done. When you looked at who the Angels had on their team, I mean, look at the lineup that they had for the longest time. They had Mike Trout. They had Simba and Andrelton Simmons. They had a pool host. I can go on and on and on.
Howie Kendrick.
Yeah, Howie Kendrick, the MVP that came from the Nationals. So how can that team not be good? Well, I don't know. I don't know what it is about them. They just could not get it together. They seem to never can get it together.
Yeah, speaking of Pujols, so how much longer do you think that guy can hang on?
God, I hope not much longer. I don't like him.
I don't think he will. I think so. There was a report that came out that said all Pujols was waiting for. I think he was waiting for his youngest son to graduate from high school, and once his youngest son graduated from high school, then he was going to call it quits because he wanted to watch his son play in college.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's what he's waiting for.
Okay. And then I saw a comment. I think Dave posted it. Burrow to the Dodgers or that Cleveland A's.
Trevor Bauer.
Yeah. Bauer, yeah. Or to the Yankees.
Well, yeah. Bauer's going to be one of those guys that everybody wants. Everybody wants Trevor Bauer. And honestly, for like the longest time, Bauer said he wanted to be a Brave. He said he wanted to play for Atlanta. Right now, it's not looking like that's going to happen because after we went out and got a Smiley and a Morton, I don't see that happening. But he wanted to be a Brave. But at this point,
you're telling me the Braves wouldn't make a room for him to they put ink to paper? I mean, look what they did back in the '90s with those three studs.
I get what you're saying, but the problem is right now is the three guys with Mike Soroka and Max Fried and Ian Anderson. They're all really, really young guys. They're all talented guys. They could at some point all three be aces, and so it's going to be hard to look at them and be like, well, we'll bring in Trevor Bauer.
Who do we sit? Yeah, who do we sit?
Absolutely. And and you get a Smiley and you get a Morton. And so at that point, you're like, who do we sit? That's a good question. I don't know. Would I bring them in with open arms? Absolutely. But now you're in a situation to where you're like, okay, now we have a 6-man rotation, but we got to sit somebody. So who do we sit?
Yeah, I hear you on that. I mean, so Chase, I hope you're right. Bring that one up, Bauer to the Twins. God, that would be one heck of a Christmas present going into 2021. That I would love to see. You know.
Oh,
I heard he only wants 1-year deals though. You think he's gonna go multi-year somewhere? I think he's going back to Cincinnati. That's just my. He's just gonna get more money.
Money talks though too. So I mean,
he said that to make you happy, Brandon. He said to make you happy.
Oh, that would be one happy guy for me. I tell you that. So we got to end. Actually, before we get off this take, how about La Russa back to the White Sox? Bring back the old school, you think, or do you think he's going to do this new school style of coaching? What do you guys think?
Ooh. Well, you can't really do that old style of coaching. You can't now. It's a different
different game.
It's not different the same anymore. Now it's not. I've seen teams try and go to small ball because that's what Tampa Bay does. That's what Oakland has tried. But the small ball in baseball just doesn't work anymore. This is now a power league. Your lineup has to have power guys in it, or you're not going to succeed. That is the biggest problem. Yes, Tampa Bay has done a decent job in getting to the World Series in their small ball, but you know what happened once they got there and they played a really good team with power.
It's no longer get them on, get them over, get them in. It's bloop and a blast.
It's
that's what it is now.
Every time you hear an announcer talk, and if a team is down by 1, the announcer goes, oh, all we need is for somebody to get a base hit. The next guy comes up and hits one out. And I'm like, whatever happened to the old way of being like, okay, guys, ball on the ground, get the base hit, get the runner over. It's no longer
get them over, get them in.
It's base hit and then hit a home run. That's what they want to see now.
Yep.
Chicks take the long ball.
Like they said, everybody digs the long ball. So I mean, that's what they want. They want scoring. Dave, I kind of agree with you on your comment that Hitch would have been good there. I think the White Sox kind of threw everybody a wild curveball when they signed La Russa to be their manager. So
yeah.
Well, he's old school.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think. I don't know. It'll be kind of interesting to see what they're going to do, if he's going to come up with some kind of hybrid in between, or if he's going to fully go with the new day baseball, or if he's going to try to bring back old school. So, but any other takes you guys got from the MLB side, or anything you guys want to throw out there, like hot takes or anything? What do you guys got?
Are we talking about hot takes for baseball? Or are we talking about
whatever? I mean, we wrap up the show here in a couple minutes. So, I mean, if you want to throw out a hot take for baseball, we can do that.
Hot take. I'm telling you, hot take, MLB style, and I'm not saying this because I'm being biased, but I'm telling you now, my hot take in MLB this year is going to be none other than in the National League, you're going to have the Atlanta Braves because of pitching staff and what we're going to do in that lineup. I'll tell you, it's going to be deadly. And then on the AL side, you're going to have they were good last year. All they were missing was a little bit of pitching, and they're going to get it, and they're going to be there this year. It's going to be the Chicago White Sox. You're going to see the Atlanta Braves versus the Chicago White Sox in the World Series. That is my hot take. That's my hot take for baseball.
Hello, Vic. How about you? You got anything want to throw out there?
Wow. That's a bold. I mean, I agree with the Braves on that, but the White Sox, I don't know. Oh, White Sox. I'm kind of disheartened by Boston. I mean, Joey Cora. I mean, you fired him because he cheated.
Oh, you mean Alex?
Yeah, Alex Cora. Sorry.
Yeah,
Alex Cora. You fired him because he cheated. so he was out of work for a year. Then you hire him again.
Right.
It's like your job firing you because you stole, and then waiting a year, be like, oh, you're better. You gave your time. Here, let's hire you back. We trust you now. I mean,
Yeah, I think that kind of one threw
I
me
think-
off. I see that coming.
yeah, I mean, you cheated. Great. Everybody cheats. Everybody steals signs. It's just a thing. But they got caught. And people made a huge deal of it. But those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw rocks. Joe Kelly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I mean, unless you've never cheated in your life, don't be all high and mighty. But for a franchise to fire someone for cheating, that's why they fired him, for cheating, and then rehire him a year later because they can't do any better. That doesn't set a good example for young kids. Be like, oh, I can cheat and just not play for a year and not manage for a year, and somebody will hire me because I got talent.
Yeah.
And I hate the hypocritical part of sports where players do horrible things, then they're out for like a year, then they come back like, oh, we're so great. Don't get me started on Michael Vick. Don't even get me started there.
Yeah. No, I hear you on that.
I just think it's horrible
Nope.
that you're setting a bad example. You're supposed to be setting good examples for kids nowadays, and that's just bad.
Yeah, Vic, I can't disagree with you. I don't think Ace can either. But yeah.
I dare him to. Dare him.
I don't disagree. You know what? I was sitting here thinking, and you guys were and you were like shocked about my hot take about the White Sox and the Braves and the World Series. And I was like, you know what? I can actually one up that a little bit on that one too, and actually tell you that when you look at the AL East this year, I'll tell you the winner of the AL East, it's not going to be the Yankees. It's not going to be the Rays. The winner of the AL East is going to be that young team in the Toronto Blue Jays.
I can see that.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
That is going to be my hot take on that one, that the Toronto Blue Jays are going to win the AL East and not the Yankees or Rays.
I can see that.
It's when you're breaking down your hot takes and you started with the Falcons, the Braves, which I don't think any three of us are going to disagree with that one. I think the Braves are definitely coming up. And then you started talking about a team that needed some pitching, and I thought for sure you'd get my hopes up. I thought you were going to say the Twins. I thought we were going to go back to 91.
Can't do it yet. No.
Yeah, I thought you were going to get my hopes up, and I was going to agree with you on that, but I'm going to go early series pick. I'm going to go Blue Jays and the Braves. I think they're going to shock some people. I think actually San Diego is probably going to be a close second in that, one for the NL. So anyway, as we tie up the show, how about we let the viewers, if we've had a lot of comments, know how they can win a free T-shirt. Ace, how can they do that?
Well, I'll tell you what, you can win a free T-shirt by doing exactly what everybody was doing, what Chase was doing, what Will was doing, what Dave was doing. All you have to do is hop on the page, you leave a comment, we look at your comments, and then all we do is we add them up at the end of the month. And then the person that has the most comments at the end of the month, guess what? They're our viewer of the month, and they win a free T-shirt.
Woo!
Yeah, so Vic, if they don't want to comment, but they like the T-shirt, they like the shows, but they don't feel like commenting or don't think their comments are going to be good enough, how can they get a shirt?
Well, first of all, everyone's comment except Nate's is good enough. Just so we're clear on that. Or, $25 plus shipping and handling, you can buy a T-shirt. And it's a nice looking T-shirt. It's pretty stylish, pretty slick, pretty fresh. I mean, come on. It's black and fluorescent green. It gets no better than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. So anyways, before we sign off, any big plans or anything you guys are thankful for Thanksgiving? Hey, start with you, bud.
I'm going to be thankful to actually eat some good food with my family, hang out with them. I'm working all the time. I'm usually pretty busy. And so with this time, I get to sit down with the family. I get to eat some food. I get to watch some awesome football. And so we are all ready for that. Thanksgiving, food, football. That's one heck of a mix.
Yeah, exactly. And only 2 games this year. Only 2 games.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Vic, how about you? What are you going to be thankful for? Or looking
I'm
forward
going to be
to?
thankful that this year I can actually taste the food. Last year couldn't taste it, no taste buds.
Okay.
So this year I'm going to be able to taste the turkey, the gravy, the city sub rolls, the delicious, delicious food that my mom is cooking or that she ordered from Safeway and is going to heat up.
All right.
Also, Friday, 4:30, the Civil War, go Ducks.
All right.
Oregon State can go poop.
Yeah. All right. So for me, for Thanksgiving, I'll be thankful for another, I guess, good year. I mean, I know we've all been dealing with the COVID issues, and be thankful
Corona.
that my family's healthy and all that. Recently, we have been struck with tragedy, losing my aunt and then my stepfather. So I'll be thankful that I get to spend another day, another year on Earth. But also, I want to go back in time a little bit. I was just looking up some stuff. 2018, on this date, Phillip Rivers sets this single game record with 25 straight complete passes. Now if that doesn't get him in the Hall of Fame, nothing will. I'm just kidding. So
I found my junior mints too.
Yeah.
all right.
So I'm actually gonna, before we hop off I'm actually gonna say something that I actually found a funny statistic this weekend. I actually shared it to everybody in our group chat. You probably saw it. So
That was good.
So the funny statistic was this weekend, since the Cleveland Browns won in Cleveland, Baker Mayfield finally has the most wins in Cleveland Stadium. But you know whose record he broke? He broke Ben Roethlisberger. It was not the dude who had the most win in Cleveland. Wasn't even a quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. That is how bad that was.
Now,
That's
do you know if that goes all the way back from the first time the Browns were, or is that more recent? Do you know?
That goes all the way back, like that.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. And then before we wrap it up, Nate, let's get Nate on there. We couldn't do it without him running the behind the scenes.
Hi, Nate.
Hi,
Hello.
Nate, what are you gonna be thankful for as tomorrow rolls around?
Spending time with family as well. I won't say exactly who, but I also just recently had a tragedy, losing a family member. So I'm thankful for spending that I'm going to be spending time with the family that I have.
All right.
All right.
Awesome.
All right. So this is another episode of Sportsminute on the All Sport All Play Network. We will see you guys next week, same bat time. So you guys have a good one.
Yeah. Later.
Later.
Have a good one. Have a good night.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays. Like working your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.